Have you ever thought about how a few big ideas can completely change the world? That's exactly what happened during the Enlightenment. It was a time when people started asking, why do we live this way? Why should kings and rulers have all the power? It was a shift in thinking, an awakening. It's like someone suddenly turned on a light, and for the first time, people saw things differently. Now, these thinkers, these so-called philosophers, weren't just writing books or sitting around in dusty rooms. No, their ideas were spreading like wildfire. Imagine a spark that sets off a huge fire. That's what happened. What were these bold ideas that set the world on fire? Liberty. People wanted freedom. Freedom to make their own choices. Equality. No one should be above the law, not even kings. Everyone deserved equal rights. Fraternity. We're all in this together. Society should be built on unity, not division. But here's the thing. These ideas didn't just stay as ideas. They went into action. In America, thinkers like John Locke and Thomas Paine started pushing for independence. Locke said, government should serve the people, not the other way around. This was huge at the time. No more absolute rulers. No more unquestioned power. Meanwhile, in France, thinkers like Voltaire and Jean-Jacques Rousseau were making waves. They weren't afraid to speak out. Voltaire championed freedom of speech, and Rousseau argued that people should have a say in how they're governed. The people, he said, should decide the laws, not the kings. Think about it. When you have an entire group of people who believe in freedom, equality, and reason, you've got a recipe for change. You've got a revolution. In America, that spark led to the fight for independence from Britain. The result? A country where the people, not the king, were in charge. In France, it led to the French Revolution in 1789. A monarchy was overthrown, and for the first time, people believed in the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. But, let's not sugarcoat it. Revolutions are messy. They're not always pretty. The French Revolution, for example, wasn't exactly peaceful. The Reign of Terror was brutal. Thousands were executed, including King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette. It was a time of fear, chaos, and bloodshed. But the French people were determined to create something new. In America, the revolution wasn't as violent. The Founding Fathers carefully crafted a system based on Enlightenment ideals. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights reflected the values of liberty and justice, giving the people a voice in their government. So, what's the bottom line here? The Enlightenment gave the world a new way to think. It told people they didn't have to live under the rule of monarchs. It told them they had the power to change things, to question authority, and to demand better. And those ideas? They didn't just stay in the books. They spilled into the streets. The people fought for their freedom, for fairness, and for the right to shape their futures. The real question is, did the Enlightenment create perfect outcomes? No, not really. Change is never easy, and the road to it is often full of bumps. But it did make people stop and ask, what kind of world do we want to live in? The Enlightenment wasn't just a period in history. It was the start of something bigger. A movement that showed the world that ideas could change everything. Revolutions don't just happen by accident. They start with a thought, a spark, an idea. And sometimes, that idea can change the world. Want to explore more? Check out the description below and visit my other channel for more history and insights on the ideas that changed the world. Don't forget to subscribe.